Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Drop Frames. What episode are we on?
9122.
9122.
It's like he knew. It's like he knew while he was gone what numbers we were saying.
Yeah, that's true. It's very accurate. It's very accurate.
Yep.
We do what we can.
Welcome back, Glad to have you back. Yeah, we're still adjusting size here. The overlays got all screwy because we had a bunch of different people on the show. So cam size a little bit.
That's good.
To do this.
We actually look like the most even as we have in a while.
I got to do this though.
Like no,
And I'm leaning forward, so
yeah, it looks all right. It looks all right. So how's life with two kids? Is it worse than one kid? Do you have less time to yourself?
Yes.
worse. Jesus.
Oh my God! We're in a very difficult time right now with two kids because the thing is the way we spaced our children is we have a terrible 2 and then we have a 5-week-old newborn. So the 5-week-old newborn is as one of my favorite ways to describe it recently is basically like a little human loud potted plant. So you can't really do much with it yet. It's just kind of there, but it requires like 90% of your attention at all times.
Right.
And then we have a 2-year-old who's going through all the beautiful things about the terrible 2s. And for those, many people have heard the phrase terrible 2 before. And then you even have the worst 3s and so on. But what they don't tell you is why they're called the terrible 2s. The interesting thing about the terrible 2s is that's around the age that kids usually learn how to deal with their negative emotions. And the problem is, for a long period of time, they don't know how. So what's really fun is whenever anything happens that Rowan doesn't like, for instance, he will start hitting people.
Nice.
Or throwing things at them.
That's always
And
good.
sometimes he doesn't even know why. Sometimes he will ask for something and you will give it to him and he will then throw it at you as hard as he can and then say he's sorry and that he loves you. It's just like
wait a minute.
That's good.
You grow out of that?
I know. Well, most of us do.
Most
Not
of
all
us do, yeah.
Most of us do.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, that's the thing, though. The beautiful part is he will ask for it. He'll say, like, I want this thing. And then you'll give it to him. You're like, here's this thing. And then he will throw it at you and get angry. Oh,
Man, we should hang out, me and Rowan. Kindred spirits.
Yeah, you can play catch. Just play angry catch, where you just throw shit at each other.
You throw shit and I'd be like, I get that.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with you, man.
So, of course, you have the completely inconsolable tantrums that sometimes have no initiator. Like, he'll just be sitting there playing with something, and all of a sudden, it's like the worst possible thing has happened to him, and he needs to let everyone around him know. It's amazing. But funny enough, just as quickly as it gets dark, it'll get light again.
Yeah.
So like he'll be like mid tantrum, and then he'll be like, "Oh, look, a cardinal." Look at the bird. Oh, it's great. So then you put that with the kid, and it's been interesting. For me, it's been wild because I no longer have any time to myself.
Yeah, that's
Like if I'm not streaming, I have to be watching one of the kids, so my wife has at least somewhat of a break. So like with just Rowan, it's cool because my wife could watch Rowan some nights, and I'd have a night to myself and stuff. I no longer have private time. It's just gone. Imagine that. No time to yourself. My private time is when I have to use the bathroom. And sometimes not even that's private. Because a kid will just bang in there and then, hey, what's going on, guys? Oh my God, dude. Woo. It is, yeah, it's the ride. But anyway, that's only because like this is the roughest time for these two guys. Before the teenage years, of course. But a few months when we can start, when I can start feeding the baby, for instance, when Rowan gets a little older and can understand stuff a little better. Hopefully it'll calm down a little bit. We'll see.
Hopefully it'll iron out. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Glad to have you back on the show. I'm sure that stuff will pass in time, as it usually does, and we'll all be there to celebrate with you. We'll have a party. We'll have a pizza party to celebrate kids passing on to the next phase.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be good times. Zeke, what have you been up to the past? We were talking. I think you could pull the man bun off every time you do that with your headphones. It's man bun territory. I kind of feel like
I think I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I'll just sit there and make your latte and get your name wrong.
Yeah.
And then your hair not care about it.
So wait, what am I looking at right now?
Oh,
so
some things have
I see
happened
that you have
to his
hair,
hair.
but is it two distinct different colors? Is there a double dye job going on here?
So Yeah, I'll just leave it up like that and put my headphones on backwards like a really cool guy. So this was I did this for TwitchCon Europe because I went to TwitchCon Europe, and I went into if you Google a picture of the Heat Miser, I went into the salon, and I said, "Can you make my hair look like the Heat Miser?" And if you look up that picture, it's scarily accurate. It's like really close.
Dude, that's fantastic.
It's pretty good.
And that's
So
exactly
what is this your final form?
Oh no. I haven't even gone Super Saiyan. I'm not sure how to say that.
Saiyan.
I haven't gotten that yet.
I think it's Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. I haven't gotten that yet.
I
believe, like the
Super
color?
Saiyan. Okay, never mind.
Super Saiyan.
No, like this is like the middle phase. This is like what is it? Machamp, and
ask me anything about Pokemon. It's Macharlie Horse. It's actually Macop. I think it's Macop because he's a cop in the new movie. In that Pokemon movie, it's Macop. Yeah, I think it's Macop.
Oh wow!
Machoke, there it is.
I like that we have a
This
video
is
game
Machoke.
podcast, and all three. Maybe that's actually heresy in some circles that all three of us don't enjoy Pokemon or have never really played Pokemon. That might be.
I played the card game.
Maybe you're our Pokemon expert on the panel on the cast.
Of us three, then yes, I might. Oh, if you played Ultra Moon, you're already ahead of me. But like
Still on the plastic.
Oh, okay. No, I played it up until like they introduced more Pokemon after the original 100 and whatever.
Okay, I did not.
Like I used to I could still like if you put up a picture of all of the original Pokemon, I bet you I could get about 70% of them.
That's more. I could probably do 20, maybe 30, and that's it. So
Yeah.
you're our Pokemon expert, Zeke. It's taken 190 episodes to figure it out, but I'm glad we're here. I'm glad that we've done this.
Yeah,
games-
I mean that's the extent of my knowledge was like I played the card game because it was like this is like Magic but for babies, and I was like I'm gonna crush those babies when I play against them.
Jeez. Were you the guy at the card shop?
Baby Cruncher.
Were you the guy at the card shop that all the kids refused to play because you would just murder them? You just didn't.
Dude, listen, and anybody who plays CCGs can attest to this. Like CCG players are fucking ruthless and without feeling or remorse.
They also have ageless vision.
They have what?
They have ageless vision. They do not have the capability to discern between like an 11-year-old kid and a 30-year-old basement dwelling like male. It's
Very
amazing.
true.
Oh, absolutely. Like I'll be sitting there playing with like a 12-year-old, and I'd be like, "You're gonna play your Poliwhirl now and not wait till next stupid."
Right?
Mr. Mime, you're done. Sorry,
Boom.
you're done.
Get him out of here.
Yep. Let's get that shit out of here. Go
school of hard
back
knocks,
to
man.
the elementary school. Come back when you learn how to play this fucking game. You
I
little
was
dumb
on the
kid.
receiving end of that a little bit. There was a place called the Magic Place near where I lived, and when I was like little 12, 13-year-old me, I'd go there and like look through their binders of expensive cards and stuff. And I'll never forget the owner was like late 20s, and he had like a group of friends that were like late 20s, early 30s. And one day I'm going up to try to sell cards, and because I want to get some, and I was like, okay, do you need any of this? No, you don't. Do you need any hives? And the guy looks down at me surrounded by his friends, and he's like, do you need any hives? No, I don't need any hives. And I'm just like staring at him, and his friends are laughing. And then he looks down at me and he goes, oh, he probably doesn't even know what hives are. And here's 12-year-old me like, oh, I know what they are. That just wasn't very funny.
Nice.
And like all of his friends just kind of quietly look at me.
Got his ass.
Yeah, dude.
There you go.
I mean,
Those people, they would talk exactly the same to like me as they would their friends. And here I am just like this little kid, and I'm just kind of like, and everyone got treated. It was very strange. Very strange.
Mm-hmm.
no, that comic book guy from Simpsons is like
Pretty spot on.
accurate for a lot of that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Just one last thing before we move on to something else that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Pokemon craze was so huge that my local comic book store was they're doing okay. They were still selling Magic. They're doing all right with comics. But when the Pokemon craze came out, like I saw him drive to work in like this brand new like I don't even know the model, make or whatever, but it was a brand new, very nice sports car. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And he goes, "Check out the license plate." And I looked at the license plate. My comic book guy drove to his comic book store that he owned with a license plate saying Charizard because Pokemon paid for his fucking sports car.
I'm sure that's true across the country. Yeah, I'm sure it's definitely true. I wonder, do you think the Magic the Gathering digital game is impacting physical sales at all?
I would think so.
Yeah, I would think it'd have to.
Absolutely, I would think so. Yeah, I wonder if like the traditional Magic stores are like somehow tying that in. Like maybe you can buy like codes or something there. Like I don't know, man. But I've wondered that frequently myself.
Yeah.
Because I know if I played Magic, I would put all of my money in a virtual deck that I never had to worry about the card condition and that were always available anywhere I went. Like that's like a Magic card player's dream.
Yeah.
So I mean, the next question for me would be like, can I scan in my collection?
Totally. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Can I send it to a company and they'll burn them and send them all to me electronically?
That'd be incredible.
Like, I'm fine with it. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. Oh wow.
Not only that,
really? Oh, people in chat are saying it's increasing the sales.
Huh.
So maybe the electronic edition is like growing it out so much in terms of the electronic audience that then more people are buying physical.
See that? I guess
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: like the other biggest point is that I don't have to sit across the table from those fucking nerds that are not nerds that are like my style of nerdness.
Your subgenus of nerd.
Yeah.
Yes, my subclass. Exactly.
What's your subclass of
It's
nerd?
nice.
What's the name of your subclass of nerd, Zeke?
Well, I would fit into like I view it like D&D. Like my subclass, like I would be like a dual video game comic book nerd class. Like I would be like a level 5 video game nerd with 2 levels of comic book, or maybe even 3 levels of comic book nerd.
Okay.
Like dual class.
That's interesting. I'm actually I'm a video game computer dual class.
There you go.
Same split though, 5 and 2.
I see. I don't know what I would be. I'm kind of all over the place. And
then you can get into like specialized,
yeah.
like
the
you can get into
peacock.
like are you superhero comic specialization, or are you like story comic, or that kind of shit?
Specialization are 2 different things. I mean, come on, let's keep this stuff.
True.
Slow it down.
Very true.
And then you have your focus, and then you have your addendum, and then you have your glossary class, and then you have your semi-focus focal classes, which is.
And then if you wear bifocals, that's also in there within the
focal
focal class.
Bifocal specialization, and that's a whole can of worms we can't get into right now. We just don't have time.
It really is. It really is.
Bifocal.
You got to watch out for those bifocals, man.
Put your glasses back on, JP. It's so weird.
Look at me! Look at me!
Oh my god!
No, I do look pretty different without. Though. I do look very different without glasses. Yeah, I just look like a mess, a Picasso painting.
Are you ever gonna freak everyone out and get LASIK?
I've thought about. Man, I was in your stream the other day when you were talking about this because someone said that they were watching and they just had a PRK LASIK or something like that.
They had a PRK LASIK. They were on day 4 of recovery, and everything was still blurry.
Yeah, I've thought about it. Sean, I think, had LASIK. Day 9 had LASIK, and it was during. I think he had LASIK, and then like left 2 days later to go cast a StarCraft tournament. And the entire StarCraft tournament, he was just like, "My eyes hurt so bad, man." Like, you dumbass! You're casting a StarCraft tournament. Of course they're gonna hurt.
Well, he's good now, though, right?
Yeah. I think so. As far as I know.
I was gonna say, LASIK is one of those things that's like, it sounds really scary, but the success rate is so vastly more than people like give it credit for.
The only problem is that when it fails catastrophically.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're blind.
Yeah, well, or you will never see properly again. Like, there's nothing we can give you to see properly. Some people go through LASIK and they have super negative and super negative things happen, and it's like they just need to wear sometimes more powerful glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
But there can be cases where it does blind you or get you to the point where like glasses won't help, kind of thing. That's the part that scares me, man. Also, by the way, for those talking about
percentages,
there's 2 different types. There's PRK, which requires like cutting and removing parts of the eye.
Right.
And that's the one where it's totally normal to have like days of recovery. When like earlier when I said that guy was on day 4 and still having blurry vision, that's normal for PRK. LASIK, on the other hand, is just like an incision and a little bit of work in the eye, and then LASIK people can walk out and they can like not have their eyes bandaged. Like they can be good to go the next day in some cases. Like it's wild. It depends on the person, but LASIK is completely different. So unfortunately, LASIK can't be used for everyone, which is why there's PRK. Some people have to get PRK. They can't do LASIK. So.
Yeah. I think the last time I was at a ophthalmologist, is that what's the eye doctor? Whatever the eye doctor is. Optometrist.
Nope. Maybe. One of them does glasses and one of them does eyes. I can never remember the difference.
I was at the eye doctor, and
there we go.
Probably 5 or 6 years ago, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're a LASIK candidate. Do you want to, are you interested in that?" And I was like, "No, I'm good. I'll continue wearing glasses. I've worn glasses since I was like 14, so it would be a very weird morning / rest of my life to be like reaching over on my bed and they're not big glass. Like I'd probably turn into Drew Carey and just wear dummy glasses because it would feel right. Like it would just feel better.
Yeah. And that weird to think like he doesn't need glasses.
Yeah. The terms we were thinking of was it's optometrist is eyes and then occultist is glasses. Right. Chat.
Okay. Occultist. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they do some magic and stuff on your eyes to make it work. So
or witch doctor.
That's a subclass.
Isn't it in some cases you come out with better than 20/20 vision every once in a while? Like
yep.
Yeah.
Which that would be kind of cool, to be honest. Because here's where I have been thinking about LASIK. Let's push this discussion even further. I've been playing a lot of games in our entertainment room on a 4K TV with like HDR and all that stuff. Like at Mortal Kombat, I was playing it earlier this weekend on a PS4 upstairs, and it was 4K HDR and all that stuff. And there were multiple times where I was sitting close enough to the TV, and I was just kind of like, man, I am actually missing out playing all of these amazing games at like not 4K HDR resolution and TV. Like this is fucking drop dead gorgeous. And then I started to think, well, what if I go sit on the couch? If with my eyesight, can I still tell that this is like 4K HDR? And I couldn't. So I'm worried now that like I can't actually see graphics that well anymore in games because my vision's still deteriorating, which is really scary to begin with. But it made me think like maybe I should get LASIK so I could just enjoy games more, so I can see graphics better. And I was like, it's not a bad idea. It's not the worst idea. So I don't know. We'll see. Are you thinking about it, Ko? Are you considering it?
I'm thinking about it now. Now that the streak is over, it is definitely become more of a thing. The thing is, so I got some weird stuff going on with my eyes, and one of them is like different than the other. So I don't even know if I'm a candidate. Like it's been a decade since I've asked. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I think they could tell pretty easily. So
they probably made some leaps and bounds in 10 years. Since you
asked, yeah, they probably made leaps and bounds in 5 or 6. Yeah.
I'm also right near a university called Duke, which is really well known for that stuff. So
yeah. I just like that you said a university called Duke. Like not everyone in the world has heard of Duke University.
And then Zeke remembers we have EU viewers.
That's true.
Everybody's heard of Duke, man. The Duke Blue, like they're kind of a world-renowned thing. It's like Oxford. Like
the reason I say that, actually, funny enough, I used to just say Duke and I used to just say UNC, but so many people didn't know what it was. Look at chat right now. So many people don't know
that because they want to agree with you. They're not really saying that. They're lying. Oh, okay. You're lying. Don't lie to help Ko out. He doesn't need your help.
Got him.
You mean Duke Nukem? Yes, we mean Duke
Nukem University. You learn to be a douchebag. It's a 4-year program.
Go there. No, you go there forever.
Okay, yes, that's true. Yeah, it's still they haven't really figured out how to actually graduate people just yet from Duke Nukem University. They're still working that out. So it's a long process. It's a real long process. Anyways, Ko, we haven't actually talked about video games on this show for some reason in like 3 episodes. We haven't even talked about Anno at all on the show.
Oh God!
Like last episode was we did for like 5 or 10 minutes.
You talked about it on Court of Swords.
Yeah. Sometimes those blend together for sure. The pre-show at least. Last episode we did this like I don't even know what happened. It was Jesse Cox and Rami. And Zeke. That's what happened last episode, I guess. So time just kind of went away. But yeah, I think we'll talk about Anno. But first, since it's freshest in my mind, Zeke, what happened with Sekiro? I saw the tweets yesterday where he said you're done. I don't think you finished it, but what's going on with Sekiro? How's that going?
You bet. I'm done broadcasting it. It's run its course for me as far as here's the thing. Let me just get this right out the gate. I tweeted out that I was done broadcasting it, and I also like followed it up with another tweet saying I don't want people to think that I want to change difficulty. I like that it's punishing and it's difficult. I love it because it gives me a sense of satisfaction. Such a large, enormous sense of satisfaction when I beat something and that kind of thing. However, at the point I am now in the game, it would either be me facing the last couple of bosses that I want to fight. I'm sure there's more in the game. Even Co and I were talking about that, but the last couple of bosses in the game are exponentially harder than anything I've fought so far. And it would just like I spent 4 hours going back and forth, fighting one, then the other, one, then the other. I would spend like 45 minutes, half an hour fighting one, then blah, blah, and dying because I wanted to mix it up, not just keep doing the same thing. And I realized like this is going to take a lot longer than I want it to take. And also I am bored. So I'm being boring. Like my chat interaction like dropped to almost nothing because there was really nothing new to talk about. Like nothing new on the screen was happening. It was just me going, okay, got to watch out for that one attack. Okay, it's a sweep, slam, sweep. Like just doing that, like repeating shit over and over and like dying to the same attack and going, God damn it, man. I missed that attack again. I should need to preempt that. And that kind of shit. Like it wasn't an entertaining broadcast for me. Now this isn't it, by the way. This is way.
Oh, I know. I didn't
like a couple casts ago.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was gonna say we probably don't want to show either of the bosses Zeke is talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Plan
but it started to become not fun, and I made myself a promise a long time ago, and I promised chat my channel this is that once the game stops being fun, I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna keep playing it, and it stopped being fun because I want to keep progress going. And even when I got lost in the game, because there was a couple times when I got like seriously lost. What's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, my camera froze. Oh shit! It did. I just noticed that.
Okay, I was sitting there reading chat, and I was just like, what is going on?
I was staring at I have a different thing that you guys are looking at. I'm not looking at like program out. I'm looking at Zeke's main camera full screen. It's just him. So he's moving and doing all of his Zeke things.
There it goes. He's free.
And then I look over at it's catching up. Wow, this is new. It's never done this before. Zeke, you're possessed. Ah! Man, this is a great new find.
You gonna like just catch up and then start going normal speed?
I guess, which is kind of remarkable.
What the fuck is going on
to
here?
see that it's like
himself. Wait,
now it's like delayed a little bit.
Oh, there it is.
It's back.
Okay, we're back.
That's so weird. I was gonna refresh it, but that's crazy.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was really strange, dude.
That was really good. That was really good. It was really good.
That must be like a new thing in XSplit or something where it like or catches up or something.
No. So it was in the program we used. It had nothing to do with XSplit.
Yeah. VMix.
Yeah.
It initially stopped with you like this.
Yeah, it stopped with me like asleep. Like I was so bored, I fell asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, we're using about 10 gigs of memory right now just from XSplit. So that probably means there's a memory leak. So this will eventually probably tear the stream down and take it down. So when that goes down, we'll be back. But
okay.
Yeah, it does this every once in a while. I've actually talked to XSplit about it. I don't know why there's a memory leak, but it's a thing.
Oh, actually, I think there's a fix for that. Use OBS.
I mean, I could, but then I'd just be told to use XSplit. So it doesn't really solve
Fair point.
I have thought about it. But yeah, Anyways, Sekiro.
By the way, we can talk about it later. OBS Studio is pretty great.
Oh, I know. I use it to stream normal games.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you haven't used it for a few years, it's pretty great now.
Yeah. No, I use both for sure. Anyways, Sekiro.
Yeah. Getting back to the point I was making was the stream stopped being fun for me, and that makes me irritable and boring and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to do a broadcast like that. Now, I will be finishing this game. That is not something that is a question for me. It's just going to be a lot of me doing grinding, like grinding levels, getting upgrades for my prosthetics, possibly doing that kind of shit, grinding the boss themselves, like facing them over and over again, but also taking breaks when I fucking feel like it.
That's
Whereas
nice.
when you're doing a broadcast, you can't do that. Like, or you can, but it interrupts the flow of the show.
Right.
If you're like, okay, I'm gonna put this game completely away, and we're gonna play something else, which can be done. I don't like to do it, unless that's the scheduled thing for the day. Is that I'm gonna fight, this fucking last boss for 4 hours, and then we're gonna pick up another game. It's not really my style. I don't have any complaints about the difficulty of the game. It's powerfully difficult. Is it more difficult than any other Dark Souls game or Soulsborne game? It hasn't been yet, but this part is.
Okay.
There's one boss in this game that is absolutely a Souls boss, meaning this game is all about deflecting and getting perfect deflects and striking when you can. There's a certain boss in the game where it's all about evasion, and that doesn't feel like Sekiro. It feels like Dark Souls, because Dark Souls is dodge rolling, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And that was kind of the case. I was like, okay, this is a Souls boss. Okay, that's fine. The final boss, or what I assume is the final boss, is a great fight. It's just a hard fight, a very difficult fight. So I'm going to spend some time, maybe an hour, couple hours every night, going back to it and seeing like, okay, getting better, grinding levels, doing whatever. Because I didn't grind the whole way through. Like, I also missed one prosthetic tool, like at the one of the first like 5 prosthetic tools that you get. So I couldn't upgrade past that because it like locks down a whole tree of shit you can get. So since I didn't get that, I missed out on like upgrading a whole bunch of stuff. I'm happy that happened. It's organic. I like that I completely missed it. I eventually got it because of that little box by the trainer guy.
Oh,
that's what that box was for. I had no idea what that box was for, but that's what that box is for. Is if you go far enough in the game and the land changes and you can't get certain things, that box holds those certain things like that are key items that you can't get anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So eventually I got it. I was like, fuck, this opened up a whole new thing that I didn't use barely any prosthetic tools throughout the entire game. They seem kind of useless and worthless to me for the most part.
Yeah. Huh. That's the one thing I have noticed about this game is almost every single person that I've talked to plays it unbelievably different from one another and uses the different things within the game so different from one another. Like one of the ninjutsu that you got, Zeke, you were using so often in some of your fights, and I used it a singular time for a singular key specific point where you have to use it. And that's it.
Right.
I never used it after that. And I watched you do it, and I was like, that was a billion times easier than everything that I fucking tried for like 30 minutes at this point. And if I would have just done that, it would have been one and done. Like it's a breeze. I just didn't think to use that shit, which is cool.
And one thing I've also like found more to your point is that everybody's play style fits different bosses and mini bosses. Like a key and a lock. Like I faced Genichiro, and I think it only took me like 4 times or whatever.
Yep, I watched.
And then
in anger.
Yeah, and then I faced like that the first gun lady, and
Oh, yeah.
over and over and over again, just like beating my head. I could not fucking get it. I love watching streamers like that. This boss, I get. I beat this guy, and I was like really cool. And I was like, and you watch him and go, that fucking person took me forever. How the fuck did you do that? And that's all across the board. I've seen that across the board.
Without a
It's
doubt.
great.
Yeah, it's an absolute blast. Yeah, well, I hope maybe you get through it, because I was definitely in the similar position, but my issue was that I had played the game for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 days straight, and I could feel myself getting like not tired of the game, but wanting to get through it and wanting to just be done with it and get past it. And so I sat down after Drop Frames one day and just sat there for 6 hours. Turn my mic off, turn the lights off, turn the camera off, and just fought. I just fought the fucking guy for about 7 hours. And finally I killed him, and I turned my camera back on, turned the lights back on, turned the mic on. Thanks, guys. And I ended the podcast because I was done with the game.
You did it live, though.
Yeah.
In your channel when you killed him, JP.
Oh, you were?
I happened to drop in when you were getting the kill. And I'll never forget, because right when you get the kill, you're just like, all right, cool, that's done. Like you basically like barely any emotion, no loud screaming, just like, oh, cool, I killed him, great.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely had some adrenaline pumping through. Like the idea of 7 hours of one boss where there was a controller pump throw action, like holding the controller, almost letting it go, fly across the room. Yeah, there was some elation.
I didn't know that you'd been working on him for hours, because that was mostly like I had been really busy. So when I got there and heard you beat him and everything, I seriously said to myself, swear to God, if JP just one shot that guy. Like, I swear to God, because I saw you. I'd been lurking in your channel for a few of the Sekiro bosses, and there were a few bosses you just killed like in 1 or 2 tries, and you were just like, that's cool. And then I got up to him in my boss in my game, and it took me like 20 plus tries. I'm just sitting here like, every time I die, just hear you in my head go, oh yeah, that was pretty easy. It's just like, God.
Yeah. No, I beat that. That was Overwatch levels of rage. That like took me back to the Salt Watch days on the channel. And that's why I had to turn my camera off and just, I closed chat. I just sat there and like played the game. Because I was reaching critical mass where something was going to break, whether it's me or the controller or someone in chat, because I'm just going to verbally abuse them and put stress out that way. Like, yeah, it was getting bad. So
no, it was getting like, I only broadcasted for half of my normal broadcast. I did 4 hours yesterday, and I felt myself like I was gonna start tearing people new assholes in chat for no good reason.
For no reason other than you just need a stress release. Yeah. That's why I'm done. Like, I'm just going to do this.
Hey Zeke, why haven't you beaten him yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zeke, why do you keep dying? Why don't you block that move?
No, it's more like this. Like, well, all you got to do is
X. Yeah. That's the tilter for sure.
Oh, here's the best one for me. Oh, I beat this guy in like 2 tries.
Yeah, that's good.
Like 20 plus, and you're just sitting there dying over and over. When you get to that point, when you've died so many times that you just run in and you're so flustered that you just die to his first combo, and you're just like, okay, cool.
I'm getting like PTSD. I can feel my skin getting a little bit hotter right now, and I'm like, oh God, motherfuckers.
There's also why doesn't he blank?
Yeah.
Like that might be the worst one, because it's framed in such a cowardly way. It's not directed at the streamer. It's not like you should blank. It's why doesn't he? And it's just so like spineless. It's such a spineless comment because it's a question. It's like, I wasn't saying you should. I was just asking a question.
Yeah. It occurred to me in playing Sekiro that a lot of people have a hard time understanding from our point of view what that's like. If you have a brother, a little brother, or any family member sit next to you while you're playing a video game and you're having an like visibly frustrating time with whatever you're doing, and that person starts talking to you and telling you like, "Oh, why don't you try X?" It's that feeling, but multiplied in some cases by thousands, 10,000s people. Like it's, whoo, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, like on the other side of the coin, when I beat something like the hard way, and after I'm done, because a lot of times when I'm trying like a boss and I'm failing over and over again, I'll stop reading chat because I know they're probably giving me hints and help, and I don't want it.
Yeah.
But once I beat the thing, one of my like, it's such a satisfying thing to look at chat and go like, you could have done this. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't, because I beat it like the hard way and I feel good about it. Like they're like, oh, you could just jump on this thing and then you could backstab him like twice and like you're done. I'm like, well, I fought the whole fucking way. Like I did the whole thing and I'm like god of this game now. For like
With
5
King
minutes.
Kong's dick in my ear.
That's true.
With King Kong's dick in my ear. With a headless King Kong dick in my ear.
Uh-oh. Jesus, that motherfucker. Anyways, I hope you find success in the final boss there for sure. Maybe just you're probably gonna, if you're playing in your streaming setup, just record and then play back the final boss death, like the final boss win. Yeah,
that's what Co suggested. Co suggested like just local record it, and
I did
then
that
you can
with
show everybody.
Lady Butterfly.
yeah.
I tried her. Like I spent an afternoon session going against her. Like I just do what you were doing, Zeke. I try her for like 45 minutes, make some more progress somewhere else, come back, try her for 45 minutes. And when I got to the point where like she was the last thing that I wanted to do, I had to end my stream for the day. I had to go take care of my kids and stuff. And then that night I had like an hour free, and I just put record on, and I was like, I'll practice against her. If I win, awesome, but I'm not planning to, but I'll just practice against her. And sure enough, the third time offline, I think I ended up beating her. So then the next day that I played Sekiro, I was just like, oh, here's a picture of me beating her. All right, let's keep going.
Nice.
Let's go. Cool.
Nice. Yep. It's a good game. Play it if you haven't already. It's been talked to death. So, but I'm glad that you're almost through, Zeke. That you're almost on the other side, because it's one of those Dark Souls rewarding moments where you're like, I can move on with my life.
Well, that's the thing. Like it's not like I never look forward to the end of great games.
Sure.
It's just I want to be able to complete it, and I want to say that I did it I did it the way I wanted to do it. Without any help, without any like cheese or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to like spending some hours, by myself calmly, like grinding some spirits or some skill levels and that kind of stuff, and then going back and facing them for an hour and learning more and more about the boss and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it, and I love it. It's just, it's one of those things like auto chess. That's why I don't play auto chess on my stream, because it's fucking boring. Auto chess is fun to play. It's not as much fun to watch, especially someone who's not like super really good at it.
Yeah. No, I get it. Makes sense. Maybe a little bit more timely, I guess, conversation or relevant in a sense.
Oh God!
Did you play yesterday?
Me.
Oh, now it's doing it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, there goes the.
I can't wait.
memory.
I want to be like,
let's do this. I'm gonna end the broadcast.
My inevitable speed up.
I don't think you are, because I'm watching the memory go up, and I know how to fix this. So I'm gonna try to fix this, and we're gonna take a break at 45 minutes, and then probably just go after this with no break. I really want Co to speed up, but if I don't actually end this broadcast, the amount of time that it's going to take to edit this is tenfold.
Oh, you do you, man. You do you, whatever you need to do.
We're gonna end it here. I'm gonna go fix this. We'll be back. I think the stream will go down if you're watching live, but then everything should be gravy. So we'll be right back. Hopefully the VOD doesn't break. I love you all. I'll see you on the other side.